This is Happy Half Hour, a Peoria Life web show brought to you by Enjoy Peoria.
Hello and welcome to Happy Half Hour. On this week's show, we sit down with the Peoria Park District to talk about some upcoming Peoria RiverFront events and the resurgence of the RiverFront in relation to the events that are there downtown. Later, we revisit our friends at Draper Glass to talk about the art of glass blowing. We'll also fill your free time with some amazing events coming up this week. But first, do you want tickets to the Wildfire Concert Series at Wildlife Prairie Park? I have 4 tickets right here for any of the last 3 shows of the year, August 18th, which is coming up, September 22nd, October 6th. So in just a second, we're going to throw up a trivia question. What you do is you'll go to our Facebook page. If you know the answer, direct message us, and the third person that answers correctly will win these 4 tickets. So here's your question.
Hi there, my name is Chef Jason Zeck of Rhythm Kitchen Music Cafe, and this is our crawfish etouffee.
Hello, this is Eva Kirschbaum from Wildlife Prairie Park. Do you want to win Wildfire concert tickets? Here's your question. What is the state mammal of Illinois? Head over to the Enjoy Peoria Facebook page to submit your answer. The third person to answer correctly will win. Good luck!
We will give out the answer and announce the winners later on in the show. Remember, you have to be the third person to direct message us with the correct answers. So good luck, everyone. Well, if you've been down to the Peoria RiverFront this summer, you've probably heard some amazing music or have checked out a really fun festival. It seems like pretty much every weekend, and a lot of times during the week too, there's always something going on downtown, which is awesome. It's great. It's something that's, was a big thing in the past, and it's starting to make a big resurgence, and it's just a good thing for the Peoria area in general. Joining us more to talk about the RiverFront events and what you may see coming up in the rest of the summer and the fall is Brittany Molnauer of the Peoria Park District. Sorry, Brittany, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
So, we've learned over the past few months with the Park District coming on that there's more to explore. And from what I've seen about the RiverFront Events Division, which is you, I never knew how much you guys do putting on the events.
Yeah.
I know it's on the Park District, the Gateway Building, this SFQ stage. Kind of talk about what your guys' role is in bringing these events and in making sure they go off without a hitch.
Sure. So the riverfront, I like to say, anything that happens down on the riverfront, we are somehow involved with, whether we are putting on the event, whether we are helping promote the event, or actually producing the event ourselves. So anything from the St. Patrick's Day parade and post-party event, all the way to the things that are the beginning of October, like the Whiskey Daddle runs and things like that. We have some sort of involvement with. So we work with different community organizations like Peoria Area Community Events, PACE, which puts on the Taste of Peoria, Steamboat Days, events like that. There's Jake Goldberg Events and Entertainment. They do Grand Nationals, the Blues Fest, some events like that. Then there's Inked Entertainment, who's been putting on the Tailgates and Tall Boys festivals. And there's the St. Patrick Society of Peoria. There's the German American Central Society. We work with all of them to help make sure that the events go off without a hitch.
And we were talking earlier, a lot of these events at one point were just festivals. There was a bunch of festivals, like you said, Irish Fest, or what was Aaron Feist, Oktoberfest, and then, India Fest. And over the last decade or so, there's been a ton more music come in, especially the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, how important is that to just bring in all these musical events down to the riverfront, places that at one point we didn't know you could, put a stage up at?
Yeah. So it's definitely great for Peoria. I mean, the more events that are down there, the more things for people in Peoria to do. Helps with tourism, helps with bringing people in and recruiting them to work here in Peoria. But it's also just cool for the people who live, work, and play here in Peoria. So finding out different ways that we can put stages, like you said, so that we can have those larger acts, so that we can really appeal to more people.
And it's not just on like a Saturday night. I mean, it's Saturday morning. There's a market. Just on a Wednesday or Thursday night, there's always something going on. How busy are you guys trying to get all these, coordinate everything and making sure the operations go right?
Yeah, so it's a big job. So when you say the riverfront, there is a team of people, and we all work really closely together. And so this past week, there was a concert at the Sefke stage on a Tuesday, and then we had Taste of Peoria on Wednesday, and then we had the 3-day Soul Fest Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that was a very busy week for us.
Hey, do you guys sleep?
Not much, not much, but yeah. So there definitely has to be a lot of planning that goes into it, and like I said, we rely on a lot of volunteers from the community and different community organizations. We can't do this by ourselves. So, the St. Patrick's Society of Peoria that puts on the Peoria Irish Fest with us, their group of volunteers, we couldn't do that festival without them. The same for the German American Central Society, the same for the Indo-American Society for India Fest this weekend. So it's a group effort.
Yeah. Well, and I know firsthand, just with some of the events you've helped out Elsa with, with some of our events down the riverfront, it's almost as if you guys make it easy. I wouldn't say make it easy, but you make it so that we stay sane.
Oh,
which
good.
is a big thing. Which a lot of people don't realize how big of a deal that is, especially if you're just starting an event and you really don't know how to plan it. But we talked about music a little bit, and how much there's, the resurgence of musical events on the riverfront. Can you give us a breakdown on, who's appeared so far and what we can look forward to in the rest of the year?
Sure. So far this summer, we've had a lot of different genres. We've done the country genre with Charlie Daniels, Sawyer Brown, Old Dominion, John Party, that. We've also done the R&B genre. So just this past weekend was Ashanti, Ja Rule, Chingy, and then previously we had Nelly. And then previous to that, we had the rock genre with Stone Temple Pilots, Stone Sour, Pop Evil. So, I mean, we've really tried to, I shouldn't say we, the organizations that are bringing in this musical acts have really tried to spread it out. Yeah. Now, upcoming, we're getting more into festival season. So we have the Peoria Irish Fest that's coming up. They have some really great Irish acts. The High Kings, as well as Seven Nations. Seven Nations is like Celtic rock, So then after that, we have the Blues and Heritage Festival. So that's Buddy Guy, Ben Folds, and Shooter Jennings. After that is the Tailgates and Tall Boys, the last date of the summer. So that's Lee Bryce and Jared Neiman. And then we go to Oktoberfest, and we're looking at like Alex Meissner, which the Polka Knots, they kind of do polka funk rock. Okay. So if you can think of it like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, I'm into that. Yeah. I can do that. Well, and a lot of these, I mean, they're headliners. These are local bands. These are headliners that had performed platinum albums and they're household names across not just the country but the world, and they're coming to Peoria, which is awesome. Now, moving from music to the festivals, I know that the festivals have played a big role in the summer months, and you said, like you said just a second ago, that this is like the busy season for festivals because there's a number of them coming up. Can you talk about some of the events so far and some of the events that will, some of those festivals that will be here in August and September?
Sure. So previously to now, we've had the Fiesta en El Rio, which was the Hispanic festival, and that was a really great turnout, great weather, great music, great food. We're moving on to now we have India Fest this weekend, which I mentioned is the Indo-American Society in the Park District that put on this festival. So again, Indian, Middle Eastern food, dance, culture, those types of things. Moving on from there, let's see. So we have India Fest, then we go to Peoria Irish Fest, which one of Peoria's signature festivals with Irish food, beer, things like that. Then we move on from there to the, Blues and Heritage Festival. So that's put on by Jake Goldberg Events. So that's with the Buddy Guy, Shooter Jennings, and Ben Folds. Then from there, we move on to the Tailgates and Tallboy Show. Then we have Peoria Oktoberfest, so
Another big
German.
one, yeah.
Yes, we're doing a lot of German beer, German home brewing beer, so come down and check that
Okay.
out. And then we have the Fine Art Fair. So we kind of finish the season out with something a little bit different, more music that is definitely jazzier, bluesier, small, intimate type things. So.
And that's just another one of those that's a big name in Peoria, and you get people from all across the world that are here just for that, and which is important, for us, especially with tourism in the Peoria area. Is there anything that we're missing?
I don't think so. I mean, we're busy. We do every weekend, starting in May, and we go through October. So we're busy, but we always love to see new faces down at the Riverfront.
Excellent. Well, Brittany, thank you so much for joining us, and with the Park District, thank you so much for all that you're doing to help bring that resurgence down to the Riverfront. And so if you want to learn more about upcoming Riverfront events, you can head over to the Park District website. That is peoriaparks.org. Stay tuned. More Happy Half Hours next.
Get out your calendars, we're about to fill your free time. Head to downtown Pekin every Wednesday for their weekly farmers market. Visitors can expect fresh fruit, vegetables, and flowers, as well as handmade goods from local vendors. The market also features live music and food trucks from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss the 2018 Washington Arts Festival, August 18th and 19th in Washington Park. Featuring over 55 juried artists, there will be children's activities, live music, food, along with wine and craft beer tasting. Are you ready for one of the biggest bike events in Central Illinois? The Grand Nationals TT Weekend is a fun-filled weekend that leads up to one of the biggest motorcycle races in the country. Enjoy a weekend of great music and parties on the Peoria Riverfront. On Saturday, August 18th, head to Peoria Motorcycle Club for the Flat Track Grand National Championship TT presented by the Country Saloon. It is considered the Indy 500 of flat track motorcycle racing. Head on over to enjoypeoria.com to learn more about the race and all of the great fun on the Riverfront. Want to know about the next local concert? There's a new Facebook page that makes it easier for you. Peoria Music Live is a central resource for all the live music shows in the Peoria area. It promotes a number of shows from open mic nights to big concerts. If you want in on the Peoria area music scene, head over to Peoria Music Live on Facebook. Looking for more fun events? Head on over to our website, enjoypeoria.com, or visit us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Enjoy Peoria.
Looking for a good place to enjoy a cold one? Head on over to Corey's Pub. You can go and relax by yourself or with a group of friends. Corey's has drink specials every day and a delicious menu. And their Four Seasons patio is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Do you want to find out more about what's going on in the Peoria area? Well, check us out at enjoypeoria.com. Welcome back to Happy Half Hour. One of my favorite parts of the Peoria art scene is that a lot of the studios allow those of us who might not be quite so artistically talented really get to experience their art. One of my favorites is J. Draper Glass. If you've never seen how glass is blown, you have to check out J. Draper's studio. Joining us to talk more about the studio today is Jeremy Draper. Jeremy, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, glass blowing. What got you interested in it?
Glass blowing, I saw it at Southern Illinois in Carbondale, where I was a biology major, and I had to walk past the glass studio to get to my classes.
Okay.
And I was completely mesmerized by what was happening in that hot shop. And I would watch the graduate students work, and I absolutely was mesmerized by it. And so I signed up for a class, and then the next year I entered the program.
Awesome. I think it's interesting that you were a science major because there's such a science to this
There
art
is
of
such a
glass blowing.
science, absolutely. The chemistry is very fascinating of the glass.
Speaking of, actually, I know Andrew stopped in the studio earlier this week and got some great video of you making a piece. And just, if you haven't seen molten hot glass before, it's so fascinating. Can you tell me a little bit about what's happening right now in the video?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Well, one quality of the glass that I love is it's called an amorphous form. So if it were to break, you could technically melt it back down to its original state of matter, as opposed to ceramics. Once that gets fired, you can't add water and knead it back to a material, right? So I thought that that was very alluring. And so the glass blowing here, we're making a clear bubble vase that is a traditional kind of Roman form here with the widened neck and shoulders, and then a little bubble for the bottom of the vase. And it really takes a team of glassmakers to make it happen. So there's multiple times where the heat isn't right or the tension is wrong, and you drop and break a piece. So practice, just like with every material, is imperative.
Well, that's amazing. Just to watch that little ball become something so beautiful. So how long have you been blowing glass?
I've been blowing glass for about 20 years. So 20 years ago, this year was the first time that I took my first gather out of the furnace. That's
Awesome.
when you collect that
Happy
blob.
anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. And so it's my 6th year full-time in business, but I'll be coming upon my 10-year anniversary on when I first started the business.
That's
so,
amazing.
So 6 years this summer is full-time for me.
That's amazing. So the video's over, and you actually brought the celebrity glass
I
with you.
did bring it.
It's
Here
pretty
it
awesome
is.
to see.
So this is really sweet. I wanted to show these little bits because it's, like I said, the glass is so mesmerizing and so soft that this was applied when the vessel was done, but still hot. And it's just a record on how soft and malleable that glass is. You can really do anything with it. And this was something that I actually saw in Italy, and I was absolutely fascinated by how soft their glass is. So I was saying earlier that they keep the glass just as hot as we do, but whatever secretive ingredient that they have in their pot of furnace allows that glass to maintain that heat longer than hours before we have to go and reheat the glass. So this was a fun little challenge for me, and we put a little gold on there. So inspired by all the gold leaf and the patterns of the ancient Maranese glass.
It's beautiful, and it's funny that I have a friend whose family's Italian, and they've got their secret spaghetti sauce recipe that they'll
Sure.
never share.
Oh,
They're just
yeah.
very tight with all
Oh,
their
yeah.
secrets.
Yeah,
They
and
know what they're doing, and they won't
The
let
glass
us know.
blowers on the island, I mean, just the fact that it's an island and
Yeah.
they have small little tons of colored glass that, when I was over there for the conference, they shared a lot of secrets with us, but they did not share their secret recipe of their glass. And I think that's absolutely fine. And that's what keeps it so lush and primitive
Oh, yeah.
and alluring as well.
And keeps, obviously, the American glass blowers coming back for more.
Yeah, absolutely.
amazing.
And I didn't really know how the glass blowers over in Italy were going to take 2,000 glass blowers from around the world coming to see their trade, but they welcomed us with open arms, so that was really refreshing.
That's amazing. So where do you blow glass here? Where's your shop located?
So thanks for asking. I blow glass at the studios on Sheridan, and that's near the corner of Main and Sheridan Road, and it's behind the original Running Central, what is now Broken Tree Coffee Shop, and also the Costume Trunk. So that's been around for a while as well.
And your shop's pretty cool because you've got a good space where you can hold quite a few people.
Yeah.
So when what kind of, I guess, seminars or lessons do you do?
Sure. So going into the 6th year of being in business, I saw that there was a need to share my passion of glassmaking with the community. And I'm originally from Pekin, and it's kind of funny because I left for about 10 years, and then I came back, and I have a really cool story about that as well. But I felt like it was my community commitment to give back as an adult, and I thought, well, how can I share this with the community? So we offer monthly free demonstrations every first Friday. Awesome. We're on the first Friday hop that you promote as well, and from 5 to 9 we do demonstrations, and then we also have times where you can set up private demonstrations for groups, churches, Girl Scouts, field trips, continuing education, all sorts of ways. And then if you're really intrigued, then you can try a little hands-on project. And that's going over very well. And we try to streamline a lot of our classes on Saturdays. So it's not uncommon if we offer anywhere from 2 to 6 different projects on a given Saturday.
And you do some really cool like make and take classes. You do around Christmas, you do the ornaments, you do sun catchers.
Yep.
Around Valentine's Day, was it hearts?
We did hearts, and then something new, we did these smooch bowls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where we blew a bubble, and then you get to sip the air out of half of it, and it becomes a double-walled bowl.
Very cool.
So like a chips and salsa ball or something for your jewelry.
So, I mean, such a fun experience. Just to get to experience it and learn how to do this, but then to have a beautiful piece to take home with you.
Absolutely. So when people come into my studio, I want people to feel like they're welcomed and they don't have to know anything about the material because it's really so foreign and, people haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. So I just want people to understand that we're there to share this passion that we have with this hot, gooey, molten material that is a blob of glass when it comes out of the tank. And then, if you want to do something hands-on, we're right by your side. You get to feel how soft it is. You get to dip in the color. You get to melt it in. You get to pinch and cut and tweeze it and really feel how soft and elastic that glass can be.
That's awesome. That's got to be kind of addicting, too. I bet you have some repeat customers coming back for
Absolutely.
classes.
Yes, they keep us sharp. We're constantly coming up with new projects.
Yeah.
And something that we're working really hard for coming up is our pumpkin season. So you mentioned the seasonal offerings, and the pumpkin by far is big. So not only my line of work, but offering different styles of pumpkins. And we've got a couple new offerings.
Oh, yeah.
And
so with your pumpkins, I think it's also pretty cool. I mean, how many do you make a year to take to different festivals and events?
we're at about 800 right now.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So you're making these now.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It's really hot out.
It's really hot.
How do you do that in the studio when it's already so hot outside?
Yeah, so you're catching me at the middle of my workday. This is kind of like a lunchtime for me. So I'm getting up at 5, and so are my assistants. And coming to the studio, we're lighting up, taking advantage of the nice cool weather that the morning brings. And by about 11 o'clock, we're done blowing glass.
Yeah. So I know you're up to your ears in pumpkins. What else are you working on? Any other big projects right now?
Well, I have a commission that I'm working on, and I'm not quite ready to announce it yet. So it hasn't been unveiled to the customer. So
something big
So I'm
and
keeping
exciting.
it kind of quiet. It's only within the company and then staff and I right now. But it will be released later this fall.
Fantastic.
So stay tuned for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what else? What else is coming up next in the studio?
Well, besides our pumpkin lessons, we're also giving people the opportunity to book private lessons and family outings. So we reserve Saturday nights for groups of 6 to 12 or more for families and groups to come in. Fall is the best time to come in and visit us in the studio. So that's that's what we've got going on there.
Very cool.
Yep, and then we'll be over at the Morton Pumpkin Festival, and then I'll be up in Lyle at the Morton Arboretum in the middle of October.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then it's on time for Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, time for ornaments.
As soon as
and
you're
then-
done, on to the
yep,
next
yep,
one.
we go until the middle of March. Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today, Jeremy.
Yeah.
If you want to find out more about how to get involved, how to sign up for a lesson, or just to stop in and check out a demonstration, you can visit her at jdraperglass.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Happy Half Hour. Head down to Water Street to the Hive Art Studio and Gallery. Pretend you're Picasso and learn to paint a masterpiece on canvas. Fun and passionate instructors will lead you step by step in one of their many painting classes offered throughout the year. But if you want to let your creative juices flow freely, you can always make your own creation during Happy Art. The Hive is perfect for team building, date night, girls' night out, birthday parties, and so much more. Bring in some food and drinks and put a creative spin on a night on the town. Do you want to find out more about what's going on in the Peoria area? Well, check us out at enjoypeoria.com.
Hello, this is Eva from Wildlife Prairie Park. Do you think that you answered correctly? The correct answer is white-tailed deer. Stay tuned to hear if you won.
Thank you all for participating in our ticket giveaway, and thank you to the Wildlife Prairie Park for helping us out with that and with the videos and everything. We will be announcing the winner on Facebook in just a little bit. So, like we talked about earlier, there's a lot of fun stuff coming up this weekend, especially on the Peoria RiverFront, the Grand National TT weekend. And if you haven't been down to the actual race on Sunday, it's crazy because a lot of people don't really know that, you know, unless you're an auto racing fan or a motorcycle racing fan, you don't really know that we have such a hidden gem with the Peoria Motorcycle Club. I mean, it's considered, I mean, when it comes to flat track motorcycle racing, it's like Daytona or Le Mans or Indianapolis. And if you're an auto racing fan, you know, those are like the big three. But for dirt track or flat track motorcycle racing, I mean, that's kind of like the Mecca. And if you haven't been down, it's really cool. I mean, there's no really stands. It's just a bunch of hills. You sit on the hills, and thousands of people show up. The festivities on Saturday are really cool. The motorcycle parade, and you know, the concert down on the riverfront. So definitely something to check out if you've never done it before. It's one of those that if you haven't, you need to. It may not seem something that's appealing to you, but when you get there and you see the bikers going around the track and the sounds and everything, it's so cool. But that's it for this week's episode of Happy Half Hour. And remember, if you're always looking for a new event to check out or a new attraction or maybe a new restaurant that you want to dine at, head over to our website, enjoypeoria.com, or you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you for joining us. Have a great week.
PeoriaLife.com.